Have you noticed how fast time seems to be going now? Something is off. I agree. Let's get into it, man. No talking. Without any further ado.
Time doesn't feel real anymore. I've struggled with this for a while. I was actually going to make this video about a month and a half ago, but held off. The feeling is still there, though. This hasn't gotten any better. Ever since COVID, I feel like time and space, the world around me, my life, the perception of it through my eyes and through my experience is not in line with the world around me. I feel like something happened to where we're not in unison anymore. I feel like the world is moving faster than I am, or we're off.
I would say we're probably somewhere a little bit of both. I do feel that something's off. I was trying to think when this video, before I had it on, I was thinking, what is it? What is off? I would say maybe because they've taken out anything positive, anything that gives you motivation, anything that really pushes you to be somebody. Now that that's gone, there really seems to be, I don't know, maybe we're all just trying to get through our day and that's it, you know? So time feels like it's going faster because we don't want to be bothered. We just want to get through our day and go home. But then, I don't know, man. It's hard to say, honestly.
If I was going to give some kind of an analogy or some kind of a way to describe what I feel, I would explain it like this.
Let me see if I can think of an analogy real quick before he does. Maybe like a hamster wheel, right? Regular hamster wheel. But maybe the wheels are just spinning faster. So it feels like we have less time to, I don't know. I can't tell you.
I feel like life in itself is, or time itself or whatnot, is almost like this old school dial on a radio, and you can tune in a radio station. And when things are what and where they should be, the station is just dialed in perfect. You guys know that feeling if you're old enough to use an old radio. I feel like since COVID, something bumped the dial. You know, I have this lingering feeling in the back of my head at all times that something's off. Time and space is off. It doesn't feel right. And it feels just like that. Like somebody bumped the knob of the radio that is the tuning of the world around me. And it's just, I'm not quite on the station. I'm off. I'm off a little bit. I remember before COVID, Monday felt like Monday, Sunday felt like Sunday, Fridays felt like Fridays. I find myself now daily having this strange feeling of things aren't what they seem to be.
You know what I think? I noticed this for myself last night. I didn't even know what day it was. I was like, what day is it? What day are we on? It's almost like they've screwed us up so mentally, so much, that maybe people are just trying to live minute by minute. And in that, there's a lot less unity. A lot of people are not, it's just literally, we're all in some sort of survival mode. Is that what it is? Is it that we were past survival mode and they're bringing us back to survival mode? Insanity.
Does that make sense? Before COVID, my whole world was different. I feel like the world we live in today is a different life than that. And of course, in many ways, you can say that it was, right? But I'm talking about just the linear time itself seems different. And I sound like a wild hippie lunatic when I say this. And I can't explain myself as clear as maybe someone else can. But I just can't help but feel like...
I think I have it. Since COVID, they've literally destroyed everything. So nobody really has good memories looking back during COVID. Well, you know what I'm saying. But I think they've come up with this scheme to occupy your brain full of stuff you just want to blank out, right? Think about it. Aren't we just done trying to get past all this stuff? Like, I don't even want to think about it anymore, right? I don't look back then and be like, oh man, that was so much fun. And this was like, you honestly just glaze over it because there was nothing special. There was nothing great happening. It was all horrible. So it's like this cycle of feeding us garbage so that instead of maybe looking at something different, we just blank it out. You know? And a lot of that is perpetuated with society, you know, like live your truth, like you don't owe anybody anything, or all this BS, right? So that you never take responsibility. You get to blame somebody else, and it's like, then you just move on as if like, I don't know, you know, like
something weird happened. I feel like I'm aging faster. I feel like I find myself constantly saying, man, I can't believe it's already Friday. I can't believe it's already July, or I can't believe it's already 2025. Do you guys realize, for me personally, like 2020 until now is all just a blur. It's literally a blur to me. It's one big blur, and I can't decipher one year from the other.
I literally feel the same way. I barely even remember what happened, and
don't remember any differentiating factors between any year from 2020 till now.
Because it's only gotten worse. And it was getting worse, but they really ramped it up so much so that that's just a blank out year. Those are blank out years. From 2020 until now, I don't remember what I was doing because it didn't matter. It's almost like it didn't even happen. It's like now, every person has this blank spot during the C word and beyond, till now. Do you know?
Or right around 2020. I literally can't. It's all a big blur. You realize how freaky that is to feel like I've lost that time? I almost feel like, do you guys remember that Simpsons episode? To any of you that watched The Simpsons, you guys remember that Simpsons episode when they find that portal or whatever that was in the closet or in the wall? And they go into that portal and they're in that different universe. You remember that? That's kind of how I feel. I feel like I'm myself, but I feel like I was slipped into some time traveling machine or some parallel universe. And it's not like massively different. I just feel off. Going back to that radio analogy, I feel like the station's not crystal clear. It's not perfectly tuned in. I feel like someone bumped the dial and there's some static. The station, the world that I'm tuned into, is off. And I talk to tons of people that feel the same way. I've had a lot of people use this analogy that gets thrown around all the time of, Well, that's just your perception as you get older, because when you were a kid, summertime felt like forever, because that was just your perception.
For the record, summertime never felt like forever. It felt like when I was back at school. But this guy has really got me thinking. I'm going in the opposite direction. I'm going to try to slow down life as much as possible. I'm going to really slow down. Check out my other channel, More Truth. I have not spent any money in the past couple of days. I did today go put $5 of gas in my car because I just wanted to get enough gas. Not that I mean, I'm fine, you know, everything's fine, but I need to slow down and really take a look at all my purchases, everything that's going on, and I need to figure something out. Because I'll be damned if I do this the rest of my life. As you guys know, I'm doing fine monetarily. But we're in different times.
Perceived amount of time, you know, and as you get older, a summer's like, no, it's not that. It's not that. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is this feeling of, is lost time the right word? Or feeling like I'm out of place. Or maybe the world around me is out of place. I've talked to people from 18 years old to in their 70s that agree with me, but nobody can really pinpoint the feeling. Nobody can quite pinpoint this feeling. And going back to the video I made before, I made a video not too long ago about how people don't seem to feel things like they used to.
He did make that video, and I also think they're turning us into zombies. Mindless drones that complete a task, go home. They're turning us into robots before they usher in the robots. The real ones. People are very robotic. We have the same movements every day. Nobody's really communicating as much anymore. Everybody's too afraid to, or maybe they feel it's not necessary. We're living in some dark times. And honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. I've never considered this, but I'm starting to consider this. Why would you have kids? What would you be bringing them into? My God, unless you're a millionaire. And even then, your kid's still going to be hit with massive programming. It's scary. I just wish I knew who was doing this to us. But I seriously think if we knew who was doing this to us, we'd be very scared, because I don't think it's what people think it is.
Looking back now, as I'm brainstorming right now in this video, thinking out loud.
Scarier than aliens. It would be scary. It'd be very scary. I'd be freaking out. I'd probably pass out. I almost passed out at work yesterday. I was having a real panic attack. I got lightheaded. It would be one thing if it was aliens, because that's what I do believe. I do believe extraterrestrials are here and trying to stop us because we're becoming too free. And they won't have any control over us. Now, what would be even scarier than aliens, what if it was a robot? What if it was some eagle-eye stuff where there's some AI that is literally able to do all this stuff, and that like literally, I don't know, man, you know, like some robots taking over the world type stuff. There's a group of robots or something, and they have these, you have to do this, and what if, right? Just hear me out. What if there are some cyborg robots or some aliens, whatever you want to call them, aliens or robots, that are basically forcing the highest level people to do this? Because I don't even think the highest level people could do this to this degree. I feel like they're taking orders from somebody up top of them. Could you imagine? Who do they go to? I'm serious, man. I really believe it's aliens or some type of extraterrestrial being. Not that we aren't aliens as well. But I think we've come too far and they're trying to stop us. I don't know why. I don't know what they'd even get from stopping us. Why are we so important? Now, I will say this. Conspiracy theory. Let's say that there wasn't some aliens here, right? And they essentially have all the organs we have. I don't know, man. Maybe they're just using us to live forever. You never know. I don't know.
Looking back now, maybe I was off in that video. I blamed the cell phones or the smartphones, and I blamed what they've done in disconnecting the human element of life. And I think it's more than that. I think that what I was talking about in that video somewhat applies to this video. Something weird happened, and again, this sounds like some hippie shit. There is something to life with our spirit and our soul and energy and chemistry and like that alignment with the world. It's not quite the same anymore. That point I made in that other video about humans not feeling things like they used to and being off, I can equate that to this video as well. It's almost like, I was going to say we've all changed, like I did in that video, but I wonder if something weird happened to where the world around us changed and we're all just feeling off. I've seen some people talk about, what is that, CERN? Or like trying to split an atom or some weird thing and making a parallel universe. I'm butchering that, so if any of you have knowledge of what I'm discussing or what I'm talking about, can you put it down below? Because I don't know much about that, but I've heard people talk about that. I'm going to look into that when I end this video. I want to learn a little bit more about that. It almost feels like something like that. Like I said, it's almost like that Simpsons episode when they go into the wall and they're in that different universe. That's almost how this feels. Time is different. The days are just ripping by. And I can't distinguish one day from the other, it feels like. I can't even distinguish 1 year from the next since like 2020. I literally can't distinguish much difference between anything. It's all a big blur, one amalgamated blur of years that have just gone by, and I feel like it was a blink. I feel like I was abducted by aliens, and I have all this lost time that I can't account for. That's how I feel.
I feel that same way. Maybe it's that nobody was getting anywhere, you know? And I feel like you can only work so hard and get nowhere. And then since we're getting nowhere, people are just blanking this out. I don't know, man. I wish I knew who was doing this to us. I wish it was as easy as saying Bill Gates, you know? Because then we could just get him out of here and then we'd be fine. No, man, this is deeper. I think this is a huge reason why I'm becoming sober. And I'm not spending any money on anything that hurts my body anymore. Then again, why even do that if I don't enjoy this? You know? Why am I staying my peak healthiness if I don't even like this shit anymore? I don't enjoy this. It is what it is, but, you know?
And I don't know if it's just the adaptation of going through such a crazy time with COVID and we're just not really back to normal. Is it that? That's what I wrote this off as for a long time, but now I'm starting to think it's not that. I'm starting to think it's something different. I'm starting to think something like physically or spiritually or whatever happened. And going back to what I said at the beginning of the video, like the tuner on an old school radio, the dial is not dialed in perfect like it should be or like it used to be. The station is not coming in clear.
It's almost like ever since the C word, oh, maybe we're all mentally ill. Or maybe everything, it almost feels like everything around us has become hostile or mentally ill.
We're off. We're off. I feel like my time or my perception of time and my going through my day and the world around me, you used to do this. Now I feel like one's like moving, they're off, man. I'm not smart enough to explain this properly. I wish I was, but I'm just thinking out loud. But
I do know what he's talking about, and I don't think, let's check a look at the comments. Yeah, they say it's because you're getting older, but that's BS. After 2020, it felt like time has sped up drastically. It's Monday, and then all of a sudden it's Friday. Every week's the same. This guy has something I like. People are now on the mental level of children. I agree. That's not a joke. I wish I could laugh, The stuff I laughed at, man, I don't laugh anymore, man. I don't laugh anymore. And the children can barely read. And you're right. We're all dumber than a bag of potatoes. If you watch 80 movies, those kids are smarter than adults today. And even speak more eloquently. Correct. Correct. I just wish it was a lie. I wish I could tell you, man. April Fools, man. Gotcha. Let's all go be happy. Let's go, have a good time. It's not coming, man. It's not coming anymore. I think we're all starting to see it's really becoming the end of times. And I'm not going to lie. It's survival mode. This is not about anything other than surviving. They want your soul. I just don't see how God could let this happen. How can you let these people win? Maybe I'm too stupid to understand myself. I don't know, man. I'll see you guys in the next video, man. Peace.